country singer Kacey Musgraves took to social media to demand the firing of one Buffalo police officer who actually pushed a 75-year-old man down to the ground while he was protesting. We're going to show you the video. I'm going to warn everybody watching that it is very disturbing. So if you want to turn away for a moment, don't hesitate to do that. I know we're all trying to protect our spirits and our minds right now, but take a look. So it's reported that the man is in serious condition. The two officers have been suspended without pay, but what's interesting is that originally they said that he tripped and fell. So if it wasn't for this video, we wouldn't have actually seen what happened. Yeah. Now, what I saw in the video, the human part that really struck me is that one of the officers felt inclined to actually reach down and help the 75-year-old man up. But his other officer behind him told him to keep it moving. And it reminds me of something that you said before in one of your talks. You said that the problem with injustice in America is well-meaning people not saying anything. And it kind of touches on what Kumail Nanjiani said online. He said, quote, "That awful video. Buffalo PD officially said that the man tripped and fell. If we didn't have the video, there would be no accountability." Kind of what we just said. He says, why? Because one bad apple pushed him down, but 20 good apples would have let him get away with it. It's systemic. Yep. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. And I have a problem with with when people think because I'm not the exact person who did the harm, I'm okay in it all.
Right.
But if I was present as the harm is being done and I didn't do or say anything, I am complicit in that. And I think too often people are willing to be so comfortable about not being the person who said the offensive thing, did the offensive thing, slapped the person that wasn't supposed to be slapped, created that harm. Many people who stand by are just to blame because what we're doing is saying and letting it be known that in our presence, we will allow terrible things to happen without consequence or accountability to the person who did it. And for me, that is my problem when people choose to not speak out about injustice. That's my problem when people are in the room in a meeting where somebody says something that's disrespectful to somebody else and say nothing. Mm-hmm. When we are present in a place, we have to hold ourselves accountable. When we say we are the keepers of our community, whatever that community is, it might be our work community in that moment, it might be our family in that moment, it might be our friends. We cannot be okay and feel good about being present and not being the person that does the harm. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
To say I'm not racist while your uncle is saying a racist joke,
right,
don't challenge, is not good enough. To say I'm not the person who said that thing does not matter. You let it fly in your presence, which lets the community around you know I can do this thing, I can perpetrate this harm, and I can get away with it without being held accountable. I think about how our lives are often dictated by peer pressure, right? What we consider okay to do is often based on what people around us consider okay to do.
Right.
If I know that it's less okay, if I know I can't come to you and make a racist joke or make a homophobic joke, I'll be less likely to do it. But if I know I can do it in your presence, I just let it fly. Mm-hmm. But when you are in a space where you already know you are expected to be the best version of yourself, when you know the people there don't tolerate hate, you will not bring it in the room because peer pressure tells you that's not allowed here.
Right.
So a lot of the things that's happening in the world, and when you put cops in the whole thing, why the whole good cop thing does not work well is, like in that case, if that cop knew his fellow cops would hold him accountable for harming an old man, he wouldn't have done it.
Right.
He could do it. So he did it. Sure enough, nobody held him accountable. And then the person who did want to hold him accountable was somehow convinced not to.
Right.
So what that actually does is show you that as a system, as a community, as a group, cops have a problem.
Yes.
The good cops don't count anymore because you're not a good cop if you let that happen in your zone.
Right. Wow. You make a really good point. That makes me think of the conversations that we've been having on this platform over the past week when we talk about allies versus accomplices, right?
Yes.
So ally can say, "Oh, that was wrong. I stand with you," but it really doesn't make a difference unless you actually do something. Now, you've built a career out of saying the hard truth, right? Speaking up, saying what other people are really thinking. I just want to know, maybe for those watching who just don't have the courage, what fuels you to actually speak your truth, and how did you find that courage?
So I think I've known for a long time that I'm not a good liar. My face tells everything. I feel like my face is an outside voice. So for a long time, I've known that if I lie, people will know when I'm lying because I just contort it, and it just, you'll know, you're like, yeah, you're not comfortable right now. So I realized how I needed to really stand in the truth, just because that is really a core value of mine and has been for a long time, probably since I was like born. Because I don't ever remember myself not being this person. But even though I've had a lot of practice in speaking the truth, a lot of times it still scares me. And I understand that people have a hard time, because they know that it might rock the boat.
Right.
And so that's actually what the topic of my TED Talk was about, because I wanted to talk through this thing, because a lot of us, we do want to say something, but we don't know when, or we don't know how, or we don't know how to push past the fear to make people uncomfortable. So I give people 3 checkpoints, and I still use it for myself. If I want to say something that feels weird, that feels hard, I will do a checkpoint of, do I mean it, whatever I'm about to say? Can I defend it if I'm challenged on it? And am I saying it thoughtfully or with love? That way, my motive is never to shame somebody, to somehow make myself look good. Am I saying this because it's for the betterment of the situation?
Right.
And when I do that checkpoint, and if the answer is yes to all 3 questions, I say it, and I'm just like, I will deal with whatever comes. I think our integrity is really important. I want people to doubt me less. Like, I want to exist in the world and give people less things to doubt, and especially people who know me. So I want to always know that my word is meaningful, that it's not, I'm not saying something just to appease you. If I say I love it, I love it. If I say I don't like it, I actually don't like it. So I think it's really important that we hold that dear, that people can trust us. I want you, as a member of my community, as a Black woman, as a human, to know that, hey, if I'm talking to Lovey, I don't have to be like, I don't know, was she actually telling me the truth?
Right.
It makes it easier for us to interact, because you can trust that when I walk away, however you're feeling is how I intended you to feel, in terms of, I won't make you be like, we're best friends if we're not best friends.
Right.
I won't make you be like, is she mad at me? You'll know if I'm mad at you.
Yeah.
It's life easier.
Wow,
And
the freedom that comes with that. You get what I'm saying? Like, even people that are around you, the freedom that is like, I know that Lovey is always going to be real. That's really what it is. Yeah.
yeah. And then if I'm upset, we have a real conversation.
Exactly.
Right? We don't have to be like, oh, I don't know if Lovey's mad. Should I hit her up? Maybe if I hit her up. No, you can hit her up. And if I'm mad,
The lines are clear.
lines are clear. Some of my favorite things to draw are lines,
Oh,
boundaries.
Lord.
I'm like, listen, I want to make life easy for me, for you, and a lot of life is uncomplicated, but we complicate it.
Yeah. You
Complicates it.
You mentioned your TED Talk, and I feel like we can't just slide past your TED Talk, okay? I know we got to get to our other topics, but your TED Talk, Get Comfortable with Being Uncomfortable, viral, amazing. You talked about how when you speak your truth, sometimes it always feels like that moment when you're about to jump out of a plane and skydive. And I think that's important when it comes to the conversation we're having right now with well-meaning people being quiet. It's not always going to feel comfortable to say the truth. It's going to be hard, sometimes not even knowing if you're going to survive on the way down, but you still have to do it.
Absolutely, facts. And I say that because I called it getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, because people think, oh, because you've done it once or twice, it should get easier. So then they stop.
No.
Nah, it's not about it getting easier. There are different times when they might even get harder, right? Usually when it needs to be said, it's going to be really hard.
Right.
So we have to get comfortable with that. I'm going to feel weird about it sometimes, but I listen to myself and say, if I walk out this room and I don't say this thing, will I be mad tomorrow morning? I'll be mad at myself.
Or would you be adding to the problem?
Will I be
Why
out of
not?
my job?
Yeah.
Correct. And if somebody asked me, what could you have done about it? And I said, I could have said this thing, but I didn't. I would be upset at myself. And again, it's because I hold my integrity dear, and I want to make sure that the rooms that I'm in are elevated. If
Right.
they're elevated because the person knows that if I'm not okay with what's happening, I will call it out. People become more thoughtful around
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. We
People,
all have to do better. Yeah, I think it's just everybody, honestly, everybody being a better person individually. Then
yeah,
collectively we have better people, and then we have a better world.
exactly. And it's not saying that I'm perfect or I never make mistakes.
Right.
Just as I am willing to challenge people, I say people can challenge me, but it's
Hmm.
because I want to make sure that I'm not caught slipping,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm surrounded by people who also hold that same type of value, who are like, yo, don't have me out here looking bogus. Great.
Yeah.
And knowing that, I feel safer too, because I know that my friends and my family and the people I love will also hold me responsible. So I'm showing up best, right?
Yeah.
And I think it makes me sleep better at night.
Yeah. It gives you that freedom.